sir. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Pastor. I'm so honored. And I thank my husband. I love you, darling. Pamela, thank you for always being there. Thank you for being my backbone. Hallelujah. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for having me. And I want to thank everybody for being here. You see, in UK, education is very paramount. And education, and we Nigerians, we are very knowledgeable. But the only issue is that we need structure. If they give us the structure, we are able to perform. So today I've come to give you the structure of how to write in level 7. I believe a lot of people here are doing masters. So even if you're doing degree, if you start writing as level 7 level, your lecturers, you will wow them. And that is what we are doing today. I'll send a slide over. If you can please put the slide on. And for those that have already been registered for our MVQ2 course, we'll be waiting behind. I think you have some assignment. I said we will do it together so that you can submit your assignment on time and you can have your certificate. We've sent your name over to the awarding body already so that you can get your certificate. So, if we can have the slide, it will be nice. But before we do, let me talk to you about level 7 writing. In academic writing, if you have a vision of a house, so the door is your introduction. Like you introduce, when you enter someone's house, you say, peace be unto this house. That is your introduction. So you say what you are going to write, how you're going to write it, where you're going to focus it on, and you mention everything in your introduction. That is the first thing. So understanding the question before you write it in your essay, you make sure first thing is, what is the question? Let's say, giving to the community. LUTON community, I want to write an essay about it. What is LUTON? I need to introduce LUTON. So you want to identify your keywords. LUTON, you define LUTON. So LUTON is this city, it has an airport, it has these are the demography that lives there. In your introduction as well, you need to give your statistics. To get more marks, you need to give your statistics. So you mentioned in LUTON, there is 10% of adults, there's 5% of children, there are Christians of this majority, blah, blah, blah. That is your introduction. So you write your introduction, and then you should be able to also compare LUTON to another city. Compared to London, London has this, but LUTON is very peaceful. That is why this project is viable in LUTON. Your introduction. Very beautiful. So that is your introduction. So then you go to your body. So your introduction, is here, identify the words. So you critically analyze, evaluate. So your critical analysis is, what is LUTON? What about LUTON? What is the percentage of people living there? Evaluation. You evaluate and you compare it to another city, compare it to London. You justify, why do I need this project in LUTON? I need this project in LUTON compared to London because London does not have free grounds, hence the reason why I have chosen LUTON for my projects. Do you understand that? Your introduction. Identify key concepts. So what is your concept? What are you bringing to LUTON? Let's say you want to bring cultural acts. That is your concept. What theory backs cultural acts? In your introduction, you need to mention your theory. Maybe you want to talk about Maslow hierarchy of needs, like satisfaction. I'm going to use Maslow. In your introduction, for you to get more marks, you need to mention a theory. You need to mention, this is the theory I want to use. So that is because in academic writing, you don't just write your opinion. You need to mention a very strong theory that you are using that is backing you up. What has been evidence-based. And then you address it. Note the scope and the boundaries. So the scope and the boundaries within your theory, and also the policy, the population. Like I mentioned, the boundaries is like, compared to London, London has so many days. I cannot achieve these projects like I would have achieved if I do it in London. That is your boundary. So your lecturer is saying that you are very analytical. You are not just saying, I'm doing this project about LUTON, I'm talking about LUTON. Oh, LUTON, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You are not critical. You are not analytical. You need to be very analytical by comparing and contrasting. And in academic writing, you are finding the faults and the benefit. You are finding, oh, if I do this in LUTON, is compared to London, if in London, maybe I will have 100 participants. But in LUTON, I think maybe I will get 50. You are comparing. However, those are your terminologies. Level 7. However, although, in comparison to. So those are your keywords. So imagine we are still in introduction. Your lecturer is like, you go to a party and there's, the first in the party, they'll give you tester, small chops. This party is going to be nice, so look at the small chops. It's very nice. It's very spicy and nice. Your introduction. Your lecturer will be like, wow, look at this introduction. I can imagine what the body will be like. So sometimes, even what I do sometimes, before I became very good in it, I always write my body first. Then everything I wrote in my body, I'll put there. But now, I give my introduction. If you have an assignment, usually they give you 6 weeks to do your assignment. First week, put it on your introduction. Get your key fact. And also one thing you need to know is like a song. Academic writing is a song. One of my lecturers used to say it's a song. If you know to learn lyrics, you need to play it, rewind it, write it down. Play it, rewinding. It means you need several journals and articles. You must have read this journal. Oh, this is how when they did this in LUTON, this is what they achieved. Oh, they did it in Birmingham, this is what they achieved. Then when you start writing, your lyrics will be smooth. So that is your introduction. So let's go to the next slide. So then, the next slide. So that is structure. Like I said, you enter into the house, your first door you open is your introduction. Then every other thing is your body. Yeah? Your sitting room is your conclusion, where everybody sit down and relax. Okay? So in level 7, introduction takes about 10 to 15%. You clearly say the aim and the focus, define your key terms. I've said this before. Provide brief concept background and outlining your roadmap, how you will get there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to find out about LUTON. I'm going to find out about London. I'm going to compare them. I'm going to see how many percentage is this. You are saying your roadmap. If you let me go to the next slide, please. So that is your structure. Then, so I gave being a nurse, I'm a pediatric nurse, so I use my eye intensive care as an example. But in general, so your main body is 70 to 80%. That is your meat. That is the meaty one. And this is where people get confused. But I want to give you one clarity that you need to know in your body. Anything you say, you must say what. What happened? Why? What, why, who, where. In all of your paragraph, you must mention what happened, why it happened, who said it, and where. Yeah? Like this example said, the application of ABC, what? Framework of the I dependency care unit, where? Solution, the setting, evaluation, the effectiveness of promoting patient safety. This is what, and comparing patient safety and early detection deterioration. They want to compare these two. So what happened? Why it happened? Why is it important? So any sentence you make, you can say, okay, cultural in LUTON is very important. Is this. Why is it important? It is important because it's going to help people in the community to get together. Who said it? This was said by so. Yeah? And then you now compare it, that it was done, can give an example. As it was done in so journal at this so year. So now you are saying what happened? Why is it important? Why is that cultural? Why is it important? Why? You need to go and look for another journal that says, what I usually do is that any topic, any paragraph, I look for, I have my what. This is what my lecturer wants me to go and write about. Cultural in LUTON. That is my what. Why is it important? I'll try, why is cultural in LUTON important? So in my one paragraph, I'm going to talk about that. The importance, the who said it, and where. Yeah? That is the first sentence. So you make it clear, logical section, each with a topic sentence, critical discussion. Critical discussion is, that one is another thing. Please, if you're writing level 7, listen to this. Critical discussion is where people make a mistake. Critical discussion is, this journal said this about cultural in LUTON. However, this journal made this clear. This, furthermore, can you hear my terms? This, then you say, however, furthermore, it means they are all still one, they are all in support. 3 of them, they are in support. Furthermore, they have all said these 3 things. Then you now say, you say in contrast. What does that mean? These journals are against it. In contrast, let me give an example. John et al. See it from another angle. John et al. Feels that what these have said and these have said are limited because they will look for their fault. So if you are not critical, having this critical discussion, your lecturer will be the one to say, oh, what you have said here is very limiting. Another journal is against it. So you need to go and find what your lecturer will find and say, okay, I have seen this positive, but somebody else is saying the negativity. And at level 7, what I've just said is level 6. Level 7 is your judgment. Your judgment is that you now say, these have said this is against it, but according to the LUTON and policy, I believe we can use this, use that, and then come to a conclusion. With that one, you don't need references. You can say the author analyzes this. You are the author. You are saying this. That is level 7. Your lecturer will believe you can make judgment from article. You are not just writing what they've said. Okay, this have said this, I've said it, this have. You should be able to make judgment. As a nurse, when we're on the field, they always ask us, you need to make clinical judgment on your feet. They bring a child to HDU, and I'm going to night shift tonight. Before I go, I pray. Well, children will be brought to me that needs to be revived. While I'm speaking in tongues, I'm thinking of, okay, what did that article say? What did this one say? Okay, what did NICE say? That's our policies. NICE. We nurses follow NICE guideline. Okay, what did NICE say we have to do first? Okay, I need to do this first. Okay, what is this? What is that? That is making judgment on your feet. Your lecturer wants to know, can you make judgment? You should be able to make judgment. I have read this one. What year was it done? This was done 2010. Okay, 2010 is too far. What year are we, 2025? Let's say 2015, 10 years back. But this was done 2024. So if my doctor comes to the ward and is saying this, I'll remind him, no, we have to do this. No, doctor, we have to do this. This is what we are doing. Yeah? Because I have a PIN number to protect. You understand? So that is the same thing. We study not because we want to pass. You need it at your workplace. You need it to make judgments at your workplace. So your lecturer wants to see that you can make such judgments at your workplace. Because if you just write and just say, this article I've said this, and you don't mention, if you're a nurse, you don't mention NICE, that essay is not good enough. You need to follow the policy. So, make points linked to the essay question. Every point you make that you find in an article, I always draw, I'll draw a circle and I'll talk about, okay, I'm going to talk about this. I found this in this article. Okay, this one is talking about this thing happened when they are doing this. This one is talking about this. Then I'll make a theme. What I pick from here, I pick two from here, pick two from here, pick two from here, and I'll now focus it on my article. So those are my points. Each paragraph, I mentioned that. So each paragraph, you should make a point. Those points you found from those 6 articles. But what students also make is that they start writing all about what they found in the article. They don't link into the question. So you must go back and link whatever you find. It said, according to so, and so, you've got 3 of them have said it. 3 articles together. You mentioned them. They have said this. And in relation to, you mentioned your research question. In relation means I am linking it to my research question. Those are keywords. Your lecturer loves things like that. When you use keywords, however, therefore, moreover, that means you are writing in higher levels. So you talk about the strength. What is the strength? You look at your article, you say, according to this article, I've said this. However, this article, let's say a medicine, you say this article, I think, is biased. It's sponsored by a pharmaceutical company. Let's say you're talking about paracetamol, and it is supported by one big. You go back and look at those that sponsored that essay. Who sponsored it? That article. So if it's people that produce paracetamol, you will say there's an element of bias. However, what they've said is good. However, there's an element of bias because this article is sponsored by this. Moreover, remember, I have mentioned their weakness. However, I use however to mention their weakness. Then now I am using moreover. Moreover means I want to talk about something good about them. So it's not in essay writing, and you need at level 7, you should when you get to an interview, you should speak level 7. You mention positive and weaknesses. When they ask you a question, this, I believe this. However, I believe that this can also be done. They will know you are a critical thinker. You don't just take things at face value. Not that, oh, this is the right answer. In critical writing, there is no A and B answer. It's like law. You have to prove your points. You need to prove your point why you are right. Somebody might have done something bad because he doesn't have a good lawyer, will go to prison. Would not go, because as a good lawyer, would not go to prison. Understand what I mean? And I'm not sure if that was clear. Yeah, that is your writing. You are making a judgment to prove yourself. Okay? So you talk about your strength. You don't just mention, oh, this essay writing is this. You must link them. Use those keywords. However, moreover. And then you also talk about the weaknesses. Relevance to your context. You must make sure, I don't want that weaknesses. I don't want that. However, because these weaknesses, my essay is focusing on adults. And this article is for people that can run. You can see it's a very big weakness for my team because they are adults. My cohort is adults. I'm writing about adults. Maybe they cannot meet up. Do you understand what I mean? Maybe it's for youth. Maybe that article will work for youth. I don't think it will be relevant for people I'm writing for. I am writing for adults. It shows that you don't just pick an article and see it and use it. So those are your strengths and weaknesses. So contradictory perspective. You look for what is contradictory in this essay, in this article that I am reading. So the moment you have this understanding that what I am writing is about me going to find out what people have written. I am going to look for, let's say your essay is 4,000 words, you need to read 40 articles. For every 40 divided by, for every 10, for every one, you need 10. So if it's 4,000, you need 40 articles. If it's 100, you need 10 references. For every 100 line you write, you need 10. So imagine 40 articles, and you're going to talk about all 40. That's a lot of reading. But there's something else that they teach you in school. We call skimming reading. That's another thing you need to master. How to skim read. Yeah? If you are very used to reading article, you know how to skim read. That, okay, you just skim read and just say, okay, this one is talking about, okay, I can see this here. I can see this. Okay, let me go to some articles are so good, they will write their strength, they will write their weaknesses. You don't need to go and be looking for it. Some would have already written, this is our strength of this article, this is our weaknesses. So you can, those essays are so good. You can just pick it and just analyze it. So you link everything back to the question. If you write everything so good, you just keep analyzing those journals and you don't link it back. Even sometimes you can write a lot about this I've said this I've said this, but just one line. However, in the context of this essay, this should be done. You have linked it. One line is enough to link it. Just one line. Just use one line. All your argument, link it back. That this, I think, article so will be favorable for adults, while the other article will be favorable for the youths. You've linked it. Yeah? So use the linking phrase like however. However, a limitation of this approach is the suggestion, this suggests. So these are your phrases you should be using at level 7. You should be using this suggests. Not this article is saying. Please don't ever use that. in academic writing. You will use indicates, suggests, identify, propose. Those are the words you'll be using. And you use in contrast. In contrast means, I said it before. Who can remember? I want to know if you are following me. In contrast means what? It means, yes, these two ones are saying this. These ones are saying something else. Comparing. That is in contrast. I have some things that I wrote here that I thought I should share as well. So everything must be evidence-based. Evidence means you are using those research, those articles. Critical, analyzing, we mentioned that. Precise, be clear. And another thing you should never use in essay writing that reduces mark. Don't use isn't. It's a don't know. Don't use, isn't. I-S-N, apostrophe T. Never use apostrophe, anything that has apostrophe something, don't use it. Use is not. Don't use didn't. Like D-I-N-N, did not. That is critical writing. And then be objective. You take yourself out of it. In every essay, you should not say, I believe. Yeah? Believe is subjective. You have to be objective. The authors agree. You are the author. That's the same thing saying, I believe. The author agrees with so article. Yeah? That is, you are being subjective. Objective. You are not subjective. And it has to be formal. So the formal means you don't use isn't, you use is not. So, if you can let me go to the next slide. So you have to go beyond description. At level 7, you shouldn't be describing. You shouldn't be saying, let's say you want to talk about blood pressure. You shouldn't be describing what blood pressure is. No, you are level 7. That is for level 4. You should be saying, like, monitoring the blood pressure prevents this. Yeah? You shouldn't be defining blood pressure. Blood pressure is used when you squeeze it. It will squeeze for 10 minutes. It will tell you systolic. It will tell you diastolic. Not for level 7. Even not for level 6. So you shouldn't be describing. You should be analyzing. Blood pressure is relevant to prevent stroke. When it's done regularly, is this. You're analyzing. When it's not done, this can cause this. When in adults, they have high blood pressure, and sometimes even when you squeeze their skin, analyzing. When their skin is very thin, if you squeeze it too much, you can break their skin. Can you see my analysis there? You can break their skin. They can have a tear, can lead to pressure ulcer. So you have to do. Can you see that I've gone beyond describing blood pressure? You have gone beyond it. So identifying the gaps. So please let me know my time when it's almost up. Yeah? Think I have just about 2 minutes, I'll be done. Identifying the gaps. So, yeah. So identifying the gaps. So the gaps that has not been done. Let's say what you are doing, you can't find any article that you say is a gap. This is a gap, and that you are filling the gap. Yeah, identifying the gaps. And reflecting on the implication for practice and policy. That at level 7, you need to do that. Reflection. Reflection, sometimes people write it personally, but you can always write reflection without using the word I. You can always make it objective. You can use the author. Upon reflection, the author realized that this is very important for practice. Like, I don't know if there's anybody doing finance. Don't let me focus so much on the nursing. Upon reflection, the author believes that if this money is being used, it's going to affect the economy. Like the Trump is in the economy right now. The rate is going down. That is reflection. You reflect. You say how it will affect in real time. And that is it. That is level 7. If you go to the next, I think the next one will be conclusion. So conclusion, just about 10 to 15. In conclusion, whatever, yes, another mistake people make, conclusion. Whatever you didn't say in the body, please don't say it in the conclusion. You're going to lose mark. Don't introduce anything new in conclusion. Conclusion is everything you said here. You summarize it. You synthesize it. It means you join them together. Don't list point. State the implication to practice. End your reflection. Like in conclusion, why the ABC approach remains fundamental for structure and assessment, its effectiveness in pediatric HDU setting relies heavily on ongoing staff training. So this is based on staff training. Okay? So that is all. Thank you for having me. And I pray that Almighty, those of you in school, the Lord will guide you. The Lord will help you. The Lord will give you divine wisdom. In Jesus' name. Okay, question, please. Question. Yeah. Yes. Can somebody give the mic?
All right. A question. No. It's just going to be brief. So during reflection, yes. So as a writer, am I allowed to make my own personal suggestion? And the confusion is between being subjective and being objective.
Yes. So you should ask your lecturer that usually when they allow you to use I to be objective, to be subjective, yeah, is when they want you to use a reflective model. Yeah? That they want you to follow a reflective model where you have to talk about your feelings. So some lecturer will allow. So you should ask them, can I be subjective? They will allow you to be subjective. Immediately they make you to be subjective, you will need a model. You need to follow a model. That model will talk about your feelings, what happened, how you felt when you got there, how did you feel about all this article, what is your feeling about everything. That's one they will allow you to use the word I. But if the lecturer does not allow you, don't do it. Okay? But in level 7, like I've said, this is for essay writing. I'm just saying, try to include a bit of reflection in your essay writing. All essay writing, they don't want you to be subjective. But if you include reflection without using I, you get more marks. But in another essay, they want you to focus on reflection. Using a model, you can be subjective. You understand what I mean? Is that clear? Any other question? Yeah? All right, thank you very much. I'll wait behind for those with the assignment. Thank you.
If you are doing it, can we do it better? Okay, I believe from now onward we have first class writers in this auditorium. Okay, that one, thank you. So from now onward, I believe we have first class writers. What next is, I hope there is no question. If you have any question you want to ask, please ask it now. If you come to me, I don't know about this. So, yes. Any questions so far? Okay. Okay, there is somebody wants to ask a question. Please, can you give a microphone, please? Sister Lee, ask. Okay.
Hello, I just wanted to ask, does she work with businesses in terms of NVQ level 3s, 2s, and 5s and 7, and are they all fully funded?
Yes. So at the moment, we're focusing on level 2. So people that qualify with our level 2, we move them to our level 3.
Okay, what of the ones that already have level 5?
So, sorry, say that again?
What if I have a level 5, if I wanted to go to level 7?
So, we've not received the funding of that yet.
Okay.
So, the government are testing us with level 2. So that when we finish level 2, we go back to them, we've trained this amount of people for level 2. Can we have the funding for level 3? If you understand what I mean.
And do people on sponsorship qualify as well?
Yes, yes. So this I've been telling everyone. Is for anyone. Don't say, oh, I don't have recourse to public fund. It doesn't. No, it's okay. It will matter. You have an NI, you qualify for it.
Okay, so do you just offer any other training or level 2 in health and social care?
At the moment, we're doing adult health and social care. That's our focus at the moment.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other question? There's no other question. Okay. Okay, somebody wants to ask question then?
It's just to ask if the slide will be made available to church members.
Okay, the slides.
Yes.
Okay, well, if you need the slides, but I believe it's online. You can go to YouTube.
In front of it, so
You said?
the capturing, she was in front of the write-up, so
Okay, so if anybody wants the slide, we can make it available. I can get the office to email it to everybody if you want the slide. Yes. God bless you. Okay. Okay, quickly, we would like to do an evaluation so that we know. We did it last month. We want to quickly do an evaluation to know how we have done today, and so that you can suggest what we have done right and what we need to do better. Can we quickly show the QR code, please? Media. Next month, we are also having a discussion about IT. We have a doctor that is coming, that will be here. We have an in-house doctor that is going to be coming to talk to us about IT. Those of you that want to go into IT, what are the things you need, the knowledge you have, so get prepared about that. Can we quickly show the QR code, please? You said? I didn't get it. It's not working. Okay. Okay. So they said the QR code is not working. Can we? I'm going to forward it around now. It's not even going to work because you have to scan it. You have to scan it. PC. How do I send it as PC? Because this is very important. We want to be sure that we have the evaluation. That's okay. How do I send it? Like what? This one? The link. Okay, the link. Okay. I think I see the link. But the point is, I'm actually going to send it to. Okay. So if you are in the house, but I'm not sure whether everybody will get it because you might not be on my link. But if you get it, you can quickly do your evaluation now. Okay, you can click on that link. Please, let's do that quickly. And just give a review of what we have done today. Everybody, if you don't have it, we can resend, but I believe I've sent it to everybody that are on my list. So if you don't get it, that means you are not on my list. Please shout so that I can get you on my list. Okay, it's right there. Okay. So you can scan now. So it's there.